This week on Retrospect Rewind, we start our look back in the year 1994 as Esso pulls out of a Cold Lake area mega project.
The plunging price of heavy oil is taking a toll on operations here in the Midwest, but it's not as bad as it seems. Officials with Esso have decided not to expand their mega project in the Cold Lake area, but they stress operations are still very good.
We're as busy as we've ever been.
Operations manager Dave Boone says the decision to not go ahead with the 2 new phases of the project was disappointing, but that everyone is used to disappointments in the volatile oil industry.
The employees in this organization, we've been through this enough times that we know that it's critical if you want to be around for the long term to respond to near-term price volatility. And when price is low, we need to be responsive.
Boone says no jobs were affected by the deferral of the 2 phases, and no money was spent. He says what the dipping prices and halted project have done is caused them to take a look at the way operations are being carried out.
We've gone back and we're taking another look at our capital spending plans to see whether they still make sense in light of the low crude prices. And the other thing that we need to do is we need to test the economics of our plans against the possibility that these low prices might continue for some time.
And as for the future of the Cold Lake Esso project, officials say it's far from over.
Cold Lake's going to be here for a long, long time. Our operation is a real sound operation.
And now, in 1998, Paradise Hill is facing a doctor shortage.
After only 18 years of operation, the Paradise Hill Hospital is in serious danger. The community's only physician is returning to her homeland of South Africa. Her license to operate in Saskatchewan is up, and she must go back for more training. Officials from the Twin Rivers Health District and a local recruiting team are now hard at work to fill that gap.
We can't run a hospital without a doctor, or with a doctor willing to take call here in at least 30 to 45 minutes.
But attracting physicians to rural Saskatchewan is not easy.
Lifestyle is a major factor in where they practice, and certainly monetary values are there and monetary returns are there, but lifestyle is a major factor, and a doctor on call 24 hours a day, 365 days a year is not what a lot of doctors are looking for anymore.
During recent negotiations between Saskatchewan Health and the province's Medical Association, it was decided that doctors will now receive money to be on call after hours. While Young feels that will help recruiting, the plan is not without flaws.
They categorize the communities, and so that we're not all equal. They get paid a different rate for a Category A community than a Category B community, and Twin Rivers has all Category B communities.
If a new physician is not found, the Paradise Hill Hospital may be reduced to a health center. The doctor problem is complicated further with the announcement that the lone physician in nearby St. Walburg wants to retire in the very near future. Local residents say the hospital provides essential services in Paradise Hill, and they want the doors to remain open.
If I have to go to the hospital, I'd either have to go to Lloyd or St. Walburg, or maybe even to Battleford, or maybe Saskatoon. So that's as bad as it was way back when we first come to Canada in 1912.
Most people are hoping that it stays open, that's for sure. That we can find another doctor by the end of February.
If they close the hospital, now what are we going to do?
Until we have community-driven health care that will meet all the requirements of everyone out there, I don't think it's time to be shutting down facilities.
Recruiting officials say they are currently talking with 3 or 4 doctors about the position and are optimistic they will be successful. They hope that a rotating on-call schedule can be arranged between the newcomer and physicians in other nearby communities to make the area more attractive to practice in.
Coming up on Retrospect Rewind. Moving forward to 1997, just days before Christmas, the border city was still waiting to see the white stuff. Welcome back to Retrospect Rewind. We start our look back in time in 1993 as members of Edmonton's CFL team bring the Grey Cup to Lloydminster.
Good morning. Hi, I'm in Lloydminster, freezing. What is the temperature outside? It's like -40 outside. Remind me of the game we beat Calgary.
It's been close to a month since the Eskimos captured the Grey Cup. Since then, the team has been busy taking the cup on the road. Lloydminster is one of many stops, and for Willie Pless and Gizmo Williams, it's been a chance to meet the fans.
The most important thing is you get a chance to see a lot of them in Edmonton because we work mostly in Edmonton, but to go out to places like Camrose and here in Lloydminster and all the other places where a lot of people just see the game on TV, don't have a chance to come to Edmonton. And it's great to bring the trophy out here and see the people thrill and happy to see some Eskimos, you know, instead of just seeing them on TV, and just be around touching them and have a great time with them. And the most important thing is to bring the cup out and let them, you know, celebrate with it, you know, just like we did. Because, you know, a lot of guys in the CFL play maybe 9 or 10 years, never even get a chance to touch it. And some people, you know, just, you know, haven't even played football and get a chance to touch it. I think it's a thrill for a lot of people.
The thing I like most about meeting the fans is they're very excited about meeting us, and they have an opportunity to talk to us and, you know, just answer some of the questions or just joke around a little bit just to see them laugh. And, you know, sometimes you see a smile come on some of the little kids' face, and that brings joy to us. So it's rewarding for us, and that's why we do it.
15-yard line, the Eskimos let the clock run right down, and this one will put it away.
Last season was a season to remember for the Eskimos, capped off with the Grey Cup, Gizmo's second.
Each year it gets sweeter and sweeter. Every time you win it, it's better and better. So right now, the second one hasn't sunk in yet. It probably won't sink in until I get my Grey Cup ring in probably May or June when we go back to training camp.
Well, Gizmo and the Eskimos are looking forward to defending the Grey Cup. The CFL itself continues to look to the U.S. for expansion. And for these American-born players in Pless and Williams, expansion is both positive, then again, negative.
I think Larry Smith definitely knows what he's doing. He's been doing an outstanding job since he took over the commissioner's job. So that's the only thing we can do as players, just leave it in his hands, and we know he's doing the best for the CFL.
The most important thing to do, but I just hope they don't never change the rules, though. I think we should basically stick to the CFL rule because it's a great tradition and it's a great game. It speeds up the game a lot. If you watch a Grey Cup game and you watch the Super Bowl game, I guarantee you'll see the excitement more in the CFL.
Following more signing and smiling, Gizmo, Pless, and the Grey Cup will head back to the City of Champions, with more stops throughout the province of Alberta scheduled in the new year.
And moving forward to 1997, just days before Christmas, the border city was still waiting to see the white stuff.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas.
Not gonna happen. This could be the first brown Christmas since 1959. Usually, kids are skating on frozen ponds in December. This year, quite a different story.
Another day for roll, but just get some practice in.
So, what about the local economy?
I think this part of the world needs snow to make the world go round. The car people who repair cars, the clothing people need to sell warm clothes, the skidoo people need to sell skidoos. The travel business is affected by it, I think a little bit, but not as much as people might think.
A lot of snow and cold weather helps our business quite a bit.
But the hot temps can turn into cold cash for business.
Yeah, it's the busiest day of the year.
And the crowds in the mall prove that. The lack of snow doesn't seem to be stopping the shopping.
Beautiful, love it, gorgeous, fantastic. We want snow for one day though, Christmas, that's it. Just that stuff that melts right away though, after like a day.
It's beautiful.
I think it's wonderful to have weather like this at this time of the year.
Wonderful. I don't like snow very much at all.
It's nice. I kind of like to see snow for Christmas though.
Well, you don't have to wear all these heavy clothes and boots and stuff. And sure helps on fuel costs and stuff. So.
I'd prefer snow for Christmas.
And some remain optimistic.
They say it could snow. So.
And the feelings are mixed on the weather dampening Christmas spirits.
Oh no. Nope. It does. It doesn't. It's kind of hard to get into Christmas shopping when it's not snowing, but other than that, we don't mind.
A little bit. It doesn't quite feel like Christmas.
What do you think? Brooms instead of shovels?
It's hard to believe I can stand out here and not really be that cold in my shirt and sweep the sidewalk on December 23rd. By the way, it's my granddaughter Caitlin's birthday, and I'll always remember this the rest of my life, to think that you could do something like this. It's hard to believe.
Coming up on Retrospect Rewind. And as we move the calendar forward to 1997, we have the comeback story for Vermilion Packers. Welcome back to Retrospect Rewind. We start our look back in time in 1992. With the story of a one-man oil company south of Lloydminster.
Marcon Petroleum may sound like a major company, but in reality, it's just 30 wells and a pair of oil batteries on a farm south of Lloydminster, and it's a one-man operation.
The income from the oil and the grain makes farming almost profitable.
Barry Ranger is an entrepreneur with interest in the computer industry, farming, and as of 2.5 years ago, oil, when Mobil began to pull out of the Lloydminster area.
We were faced with a situation there where they were going to abandon the wells, which would mean lost revenue to the farm. And at the time, our position was, well, because of my background, my experience with the oil, I felt that we could at least earn as much as we would have got from lease rentals on the wells by operating the wells.
Ranger runs 8 to 10 of his 30 wells and contracts local service companies to do maintenance and haul the oil. The wells generate as much as $300,000 a year, 90% of which is returned to the local economy. And while the major oil companies are faced with scaling back their operations, there's a big opportunity for local entrepreneurs to get involved in the industry.
Rather than having them abandoned, if the farmers, the municipalities, and the oil people could get together, we could keep these wells at a stripper operation and see our oil industry continue, not flourish and maybe not grow, but at least continue for many years, because there's lots of oil in place.
And as we move the calendar forward to 1997, we have the comeback story for Vermilion Packers.
Dogs eat small dogs. That's about all. And we are hurting, very hurting.
During the hog price war in February, Martin Rijevec was uncertain about the future of Vermilion Packers. The small operation could not compete with the $24 a hog premiums Maple Leaf and Fletcher's Fine Foods were offering. The coolers were empty, and they were forced to lay off 7 of their 11 employees. However, all that changed the day after the price war ended. The cooler started to fill, and now Rijevec is understaffed.
We could handle probably 500 head. But we need more people.
The demand from stores has risen dramatically since Maple Leaf Foods closed their Edmonton plant. Vermilion Packers is changing to accommodate that increased demand. They will slaughter 3 days a week instead of 2. That's not the only change. The building has been given a facelift as a result of the booming business, and things could be even busier. However, Rijevec says they have always served their loyal customers first, and nothing has changed.
We look after our old customers. The customers that they were supporting us for the last 5-10 years, we're looking after them first, and then everybody else comes second, I guess. That's the way it should be.
Fingers have been pointed in every direction in the wake of the Edmonton closure. Rijevec has his own opinion of who's to blame.
When the government took that plant over, and I'm not sure how many years ago, from Peter Parkington, they should have sold it instead of rent it out. That's the reason that he walked out of there. If he would have paid for the plant, he would never walk out of there. But he didn't, so he walked out.
Michael McCain, you're saying?
Right on.
Rijevec says he feels sorry for Maple Leaf's Edmonton employees. However, the closure has improved business, and everyone agrees it's a much happier situation here at Vermilion Packers than 8 months ago.
Coming up on Retrospect Rewind. And in 1997, a Border City flower shop helped spread Christmas joy and give back to the community. Welcome back to Retrospect Rewind. We start our look back at this week in history in 1992 as Lloydminster residents and the police deal with an uncomfortable case.
I felt, like, how long has he been there standing? Because my daughter was in the bathtub.
Deborah Discover of Lloydminster says she and her daughter were victims of a peeping Tom. In the early hours of October 13th, her 14-year-old daughter Angie was taking a bath and Debbie was standing in front of the mirror.
All of a sudden I glanced over, away from her face, and I looked into the window type thing, and I seen his face in the mirror, just standing there looking at me.
I don't even know what she's seen, but all I heard was, "Get out of here." And I said, "Why? There's somebody watching you." So I left, and Mom started hollering at him through the window.
And I ran to the window, opened up the window, and I screamed at him. And he just stood there looking at me. And then I closed the window and I ran to the phone and called the RCMP.
Deborah says she and her neighbor then went outside to see if they could find any clues. And what they did find was disturbing.
And we found a garbage can at the bottom of the bathroom window, which he was standing on, and a big chunk of wood, like a block of wood almost, so you put it behind a tire or something, below my bedroom window, like he was standing there, either looking in the window or something, I don't know, but you could see his tracks all around and on the wood. Now I don't know if he was even looking at my daughter's room, because she didn't have curtains at the time either.
Angie Discover says the experience has left her constantly looking over her shoulder.
When I babysit, it's really scary when you just sit there and you think you hear things and start to think about what happened here. It gets scary.
The Discovers live in Zone 5 of the city, and their neighborhood watch coordinator says their zone has been visited by peeping Toms before.
Well, we had a peeping Tom in our area up until the summer of '91, and that situation was resolved. Then it started again, and the individual was apprehended and went to jail in February, and now this activity started again in the end of September.
In Lloydminster, there is and has been instances of peeping Toms.
Constable Ken Piper says outdoor lighting and window blinds are the best deterrents for peeping Toms. But he says if a person is the victim of a voyeur, they should let police handle the situation.
If a person should identify someone that's looking in their windows, it's important that they don't try to attempt to restrain this person or hold them till police arrive. It's never a safe thing to do to try to forcibly hold somebody that you don't know what their actions are up to or what they're up to.
Voyeurism can be a criminal offense. Anyone convicted of the crime could be charged with mischief or trespassing at night and face up to 10 years in jail. Although there have been some reports of peeping Toms in the city, Constable Piper says the problem isn't rampant.
We want to make sure people understand that it's not rampant by any means, but that they do keep aware of their environment around their residence and, to let the police know of anything suspicious.
And Deborah Discover says it's an experience she'll never forget.
It still gives you the shakes.
And in 1997, a Border City flower shop helped spread Christmas joy and give back to the community.
It was a quiet afternoon at Grower Direct in the Border City today. It gave staff a chance to catch their breath after a busy morning. When the flower shop opened, this cooler was packed with over 2,000 roses. Within 2.5 hours, they were all gone, given away to generous local residents as part of Friendship Day.
We opened the store at 8 o'clock, and there was people here waiting prior to 8 o'clock, so it was just a fabulous response.
If you brought a non-perishable food item, you received a dozen roses free. There was only one catch. You were asked to only keep one for yourself and hand the rest out in the community.
And we've had people call back that either had bought the roses and handed them out, or people that actually got roses from other people. So it's just been a very positive, wonderful experience.
Staff say even when the roses were long gone, residents kept coming in to drop off food bank donations. The food definitely outnumbered the flowers here today as the barrel overflowed and the towers in the back room grew taller. While over $1,000 in groceries was collected, the haul will be split between the 4 charities that helped out: the Food Bank, Slimthorpe Recovery Center, B. Fisher Center, and the Interval Home. Thronson says they hope to run the event again in the future.
It's a way for us to give back to the community, to involve various organizations. It's a wonderful time of year to do it. I know around here we certainly are feeling the Christmas spirit.
That's it for this edition of Retrospect Rewind.